First of all, I hope that the deputy is okay. From what the report says, he had some bruises and scrapes, but I want to give him a big shout out. He took some pretty good punches from that inmate, and he stood up and he stayed there. Survival kicked in, and he stayed up. And I mean, the first punch especially, and then after that he got a couple more, and he hung in there. And he and with the help of another officer were able to get the inmate down. So I want to congratulate that officer for his internal fortitude and power and ability to stay up. Now, as for the inmate, he's going to get outside charges, which he should, and I hope he gets a bunch of outside charges. And he needs to be locked away in an ISO cell somewhere until it's time for court. And this is the time when people cry about isolation. Well, let me tell you, that is why we have those cells. That is why we separate those violent inmates from the rest of the inmates. And now we will code them, and we will know when we move this inmate from one place to another, he will be cuffed at the minimum or cuffed and shackled. Now, this was a jail, Hillsborough County Jail, which is adjacent to my county. And this was inside movement. If anybody says, well, why wasn't he cuffed when he was moving him? I've worked at 2 county jails, Pasco County and Polk County, and then I also am very familiar with Hillsborough County where this took place. When you're inside a jail, lots of inside movement, you don't use handcuffs. You just move from one location to another without handcuffs. Now, if policies and procedures change, then make it where we place them on a wall and they have to face a wall when we unlock the doors. But for right now, I don't believe there's a policy and procedure in place anywhere that says you have to place them on the wall away from you and then unlock the door or whatever, So we're doing no Monday morning quarterbacking here. We're going to congratulate the officer for doing a great job, because I've worked in those jails and I've escorted those inmates from one section of a jail to another with no handcuffs, and they could have turned on me just as they turned on that officer and hit me. So we have to start sending a message to these violent inmates. The first message is lock them up in isolation, separate them. And the second message is let's give them some time for that. And let's don't let them plea out to a year and a day. Let's give them some good time in prison for what just occurred on this video. And I'm going to leave it at that, and you make the call. Thanks for watching Gary York True Prison Story.